wonderful sight. What a wonderful sight to see this hall packed with people that are hungry to bring change to Nelson Mandela Bay. Welcome and thank you for being here today. It is one of the greatest privileges of my life to be standing before you as your mayoral candidate for Nelson Mandela Bay. All of us who live here absolutely love this place. The third largest coastal city in South Africa, with one of the most moderate climates on the continent, 40 kilometers of unspoiled beaches, but even more importantly, 1.3 million of the most friendly, gracious, resilient, strong, and powerful people in the country. In which other city in the world can you swim with dolphins, dive with great white sharks or humpback whales, or find the big five roaming around in their natural malaria-free environment a mere 55 kilometers from the city? Ours is still a 20-minute commute city. Eat your heart out, Joburg. One which can offer a quality and affordable lifestyle to all. They say, if you know, you know. And Nelson Mandela Bay residents know that our beloved Bay is the best kept secret in South Africa. I stand with you here today as a proud son of this city, our city. I was born and grew up right here in Algoa Park, playing in these streets as a young boy, riding my bike and playing cricket in the streets with other kids. Walking to and from school every day. How things have changed. We grew up simply. My dad worked at Continental, and my mum looked after me and my siblings. Our home was modest, but there was love, joy, hope, and respect. But from as young as I can remember, I noticed the inequalities of our city, then ruthlessly split through the system and horrors of apartheid. Algoa Park is just a few kilometers away from Helenvale, or soos ons dit hier ken, Katanga. As an 8-year-old boy, I remember hearing police gunshots ringing out across the valley, and I wondered why such violence was so commonplace in certain areas. Later on, I heard the stories of people forcibly removed from places like Southend and Fairview and relocated to outlying parts of the city. The injustice and brutality of those years have left wounds that will take generations to heal. This is an historic place, steeped in stories passed through generations of triumphs over inequality, heroic legacies of selflessness and strength. A people torn apart and brought together with a renewed sense of community and loyalty to this place we call home, our Bay, ons Bay. 1994 signaled a new era for South Africa and the opportunity for democracy to bring hope to all. As it was then known, Port Elizabeth and Uitenhage were some of the first towns in the country to begin non-racial transformation under the Transitional Executive Council beginning in 1994, ahead of the first local government elections in 1995. This would be a time for healing and rebuilding industry, businesses, and entrepreneurs flocked to our city. Nelson Mandela Bay, as it was known from the year 2000, was also one of the country's first unicities, amalgamating the Uitenhage, Port Elizabeth, and Dispatch town councils. This was one of South Africa's fastest growing industrial coastal towns, with many large global corporations pouring investments into our city and scaling up operations across their sites. 20 years ago, this city was making progress. Business and political leaders from all backgrounds worked towards a common goal of getting this city working for every single resident. In Nelson Mandela Bay het die geraas van ons fabrieke 'n nuwe era van voorspoed en hoop ingelei. Ons was opgewonde oor daardie toekoms in hierdie pragtige nuwe demokrasie. Maar iewers het iets verkeerd geloop. I love Nelson Mandela Bay with every fiber of my being. I matriculated here, in fact at Otto du Plessis, just down the road. And my sister, Anna-Marie, actually even got married in this very same hall that we're standing today. I've just met Abigail, the caretaker of this ward, of this hall, and she was saying how difficult it is to get the municipality to do basic renovation work to this asset. She's embarrassed. I want to thank you, Abigail, for the work that you do. I went to university here at Nelson Mandela University, and thereafter I started a small legal practice. I got married here to my beautiful wife, Annie, definitely the better part of me. And together we are raising our 3 beautiful children, Ludik, Leon, and Luca. En hulle is hier vandag. Hulle sit hier onder. But you can see that they're bored out of their minds with my speech. Here, our Nelson Mandela Bay is home. It is home to all of us. And for the last 20 years, I've been in active politics. I have fought for this city, and I have fought for this province. But, as we all know and can see, the post-1994 democratic light of hope and promise has started to fade. For too long now, shadows have fallen across our streets, the hollow echo of a city that has lost its way, where progress has ground to a halt. The desperation of a father in Motherwell who has been out of work for months, unable to provide food for his young family. We feel the weight of repeated broken promises. See the truth in the weary eyes of a mother who has lost a child to a stray bullet from gang violence in the northern areas. We notice the quiet despair of a neighbor waiting years for a street light to be fixed. Take a drive through Missionvale, Wannebushle, Bettelsdorp, New Brighton, Central, or Uitenhage. You'll see roads are crumbling, rubbish on most street corners, and sewage flowing through the streets. No child anywhere should have to walk through sewage to get home from school. No child should have to walk out the front gate and through piles of rubbish just to visit a friend. Every 3rd traffic light, every 4th street light, every 2nd road, broken, faulty, crumbling. There are thousands of stories, your stories, our stories, just like this. And I hear you all. I know it feels hopeless But listen to me. The light of hope may have dimmed, but it is not out. We can at any moment choose a different path. We can say this far and no further. Every 5 years, we get to choose who runs our city. We get to choose between crime and safety, between jobs and indignity, lit streets or darkness. We get to choose by exercising our constitutional right and duty to vote. Now, I know you've heard all of this before. I know you might be tempted to sigh and ask, Retief, but why should I care? Will another election really change anything? My answer is always the same. Because lives and livelihoods hang in the balance, quite literally. And I also believe that this is our city's last chance. The window of opportunity to fix Nelson Mandela Bay is still open. But it is closing quickly. I care because I want our city to be a prosperous place. The prosperous place that I know it can be. For me, for you, for our children. I care because I want us to meet again in a few years from now and say, you see, Retief, together we did it. The lights are back on. The potholes have been fixed. The streets are clean. Business are growing, and there's work for our sons and our daughters and our grandchildren. I care because I know how much that matters to so many of you, to all of us. The ANC has had its chance here. It has proven to us, to all of us, that it cannot govern our city properly, nor can any of the ANC's corrupt coalition partners like the EFF or the PA. Everything the ANC and their crony partners touch lands up broken and in ruins. Look at Joburg, at eThekwini, at Ekurhuleni, closer to home. Look at Makana, Buffalo City, and so many other. Many of the towns and municipalities in the Eastern Cape look like they've been ravished by war. And in many ways, there has been a war of poor governance waged by the ANC against the people of this province. Then, look right here at our hometown, Nelson Mandela Bay. More of the same ANC-led destruction. The next local government election is around the corner. And this election is not about the DA against the ANC and their small party friends. It is about the people of Nelson Mandela Bay against the ANC and their small party friends to get services back to Nelson Mandela Bay. So I'm asking you to choose hope, and I'm asking you to ask everyone you know to choose hope. We need to choose to get Nelson Mandela Bay and our people working again. But we will only get the stable government we need if everyone is registered to vote and votes for the DA. Because, as the President so pertinently pointed out, DA-led municipalities are well run. So this is our moment. Let's take it. Hierdie is ons geleentheid. Kom ons gryp dit aan. Kom ons red Nelson Mandela Bay. Whilst I was executive mayor for almost 9 months in 2022, our government managed to stabilize the municipal finances for the first time in years. But then the coalition of corruption snuck back into government. We were able to do in 9 months what the ANC could not do in several years. We were able to get the first unqualified audit opinion in 12 years in the city. And we did this by delivering services and spending public money on public infrastructure. We did this by dealing decisively with corrupt individuals. And this, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, is not the DA saying so. It is the Auditor General that says so. We've had a test run and delivered. Of course, 9 months isn't nearly long enough to turn our city around. We need a clear 5-year term, and that is only possible if you make it so. My vision for Nelson Mandela Bay is simple and powerful. We can get Nelson Mandela Bay working again. A city rebuilt, one that is safe, well run and growing. Imagine a city where you can walk the streets without fear, where our children can play in our parks and our homes are sanctuaries, not fortresses. We will reclaim the heart of our city by building a network of safety, not just with more metro police, but with communities that are empowered, with technology that protects, and with a relentless commitment to justice. We will create a functional and well-resourced metro and traffic police. We will grow the Metro Police, establish new precincts, and focus on enforcing bylaws that have been ignored for far too long. We will establish an intergovernmental task force to target specific priority crimes like gangsterism, vandalism, kidnapping, and cable theft. We will implement a network of cameras across the city, monitored 24/7 from a joint operations center so that we can dispatch emergency services the moment a crime occurs. We will empower neighborhood watches by enabling members to become peace officers. And I would like to take this opportunity to recognize each and every single member of the public out there patrolling our streets every night to keep our people safe when government is failing to do so. This is how we will break the chains of crime and violence and allow the spirit of our community to shine once more. Imagine a city hall that works for you, not against you. A government of honest, capable, and hardworking leaders with strong faith and values, men and women who see their roles not as a path to power, but as a commitment to communities. The leaders of today, the leaders of Nelson Mandela Bay, are only interested in looking after their gatsakke these days. They drive around in fancy cars, they wear fancy suits, and they eat at fancy restaurants. What a pity they don't deliver fancy service delivery. These leaders have forsaken the people of the Bay. Getting Nelson Mandela Bay working is more than just fixing potholes and streetlights. It's about restoring dignity and trust in our governance. We will restore the soul of our city by building a government with a zero-tolerance approach to corruption and incompetence. We will conduct an immediate audit of all current tender agreements, ensuring that suppliers are delivering on their promises. any failure to deliver or evidence of corruption must result in immediate action. We will build a firewall against corruption around our supply chain management. We will fill critical vacancies with qualified professionals, engineers, plumbers, electricians, and other artisans. And we will hold them to the highest standard on their service delivery work. My friend Mark Stemmet, a former city engineer and today a business owner in the city, reminds me almost on a monthly basis that politicians alone can't fix the city. They need to work with engineers, with plumbers and artisans if they want to fix the bay. We are ready to work with skilled professionals to get the city working again. Our government will make difficult decisions without fear or favor to ensure services are delivered. We will create a professional work environment that supports excellence and deals decisively with poor performance. I'm so sad when I think of all the good officials that we've lost in Nelson Mandela Bay. Just the other day, Mr. Salvin Tace, a son of the northern areas, one of the most brilliant officials I've ever met, was chased out of the city, and today he's the CFO of Mossel Bay Municipality, the best run municipality in the country. Why do officials get chased out of the city? They get chased out by politicians with nefarious agendas that want to loot from you. We will develop a budget that truly serves our residents and monitor it monthly to ensure every cent is accounted for. I want to tell you, you might have noticed that my hair is thinning a bit. And I'm going to share a secret with you. Do you know that every day I still gel my hair? Put some gel in, because every hair must have its place when you've got so few hairs. Now, when you've got as little money as Nelson Mandela Bay, you have to account for every rand, and that is why you have to monitor where your money is spent. We want to restore trust in the city, rebuild trust between the people of Nelson Mandela Bay and a broken administration. And this is how we are going to become a well-run city. Imagine a city where opportunity is abundant, where the engine of our economy hums with renewed energy. We will unlock the future of our city by attracting investment, supporting our entrepreneurs, and creating jobs that bring purpose and dignity. Government don't create jobs. In this metro, our mayor celebrates when a couple of EPWP jobs have been given out. Yes, it's important to use all the money that you get for EPWP, but the only way that government can create jobs is if they create a stable administration that delivers services where business can prosper. We will streamline the process for business applications, aiming to reduce the time it takes for new ventures to get off the ground. No longer will town planning applications take years to finalize, or three-phase electricity connections 3 months to install. In this city, we are going to mean business. I will chair an investment council with leaders from the private sector to identify and remove obstacles to business growth. We will identify key parcels of unused municipal land for public-private partnerships that will create jobs and social infrastructure. We will launch a dedicated plan to boost tourism, especially in our townships, and outsource the management of our municipal resorts, which have all fallen into ruin, to the private sector to restore them and create jobs. We will incentivize corporate investment through tiered rate reduction and discount programs. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how we will build a city where potential is limitless. This is my vision for our city. But I cannot do it alone. I'm asking all of you to join me, to join us. Over these past years, I've been part of a blue team of public representatives who have collectively battled and continue to battle for better services and a growing economy. People like Andrew Whitfield, Yusuf Kassim, Kabelo Magatosi, Horatio Hendricks, Rano Kaiser, and many other incredible ethical leaders. We need a stable government, and that is only possible if you exercise your constitutional right to vote. This next election is our chance to choose hope. Fixing Nelson Mandela Bay is not rocket science. We can get Nelson Mandela Bay working again.